turn to pick.
Sniper!
Thank you, Dakota. That's right. Ben and I are going to be over here on the casting desk. After all, we had it written into our DreamLeague contracts that they couldn't expose this to more than 12 hours of slacks in a single day. So, otherwise.
Thank God.
Yeah, so we're finally away from that. We're over here on the casting desk. Ben, your thoughts on Vega Squadron versus Team Secret? We have some pretty interesting picks. The Sniper last pick against the Viper.
I'm feeling a little bit more too. I don't like Viper so much. He is a good Viper though.
What is it about the Viper that you don't like?
He doesn't farm that quickly, and he doesn't, like, there's no time for him to really shine. Even in the laning phase, we just see like teams kind of just ignore him, and he doesn't punish other teams.
Yeah, he wins his lane, but it doesn't really feel like he really pressures objectives for that lane win, and he doesn't turn into some monster late games. So he just seems like you need some serious to get you into the late game from your other heroes. We're already going to have a bit of a scuffle here in the mid lane, where YapzOr and Syoma the Slayer going to match up as the classic TP smoke out play for those aggressive wards. Least you could say is that G is not going to have to focus too much on carrying. He's got a lot of synergy with the safe lane Faceless Void, as well as the offlane Enigma that Vega is going to be running. They've got a lot of control for this Viper to output damage later.
Yeah, I think he might have to get Lance first. I've also seen the Lightning build Viper, so
the Mjolnir, yeah.
Yep. Spew disgusting lightning as well as disgusting poison.
It helps you farm a little bit faster, right? Clear through the waves. That's one of the big problems with Viper is you just don't have a fast farming mechanism like the Queen of Pain. And
he might also need a Lance first though, because he does have a Void on his team and have problems pew-pewing inside the Chrono.
Or you could just be better at position. Be a better player.
Okay, you're talking to the team that got 4-man Black Hole. So I think you just have to scratch that.
All right, so accounting for play, we're going to have to make some better item decisions.
If you know you're going to get caught, you have to account for it.
Positioning is pretty important in this game, too, because we've got a sniper on the enemy team, right? You need to be able to have that initiation. They do have a lot of heroes to jump onto that sniper, though. Both the Tusk and the Void have their own gap-closing mechanisms, and we're later on to the game. Blink Dagger, Enigma. Is that enough to catch the sniper out?
I'm not sure. I think one of the most annoying parts about playing Sniper versus Viper is if you shrapnel and Viper stands in it, you get corrosive the entire time.
Yeah,
it's awful.
You could actually lose more HP.
But I'm not sure how he's going to build it. And yeah, I don't actually think they have enough absolute, because I think the Shaker dissuades a lot. Like, you don't really want to be snowballing in.
Yeah, you've got both Sniper as well as, well, Chaos Knight and the Zen King. You've actually got 3 really big frontline heroes that draw a lot of attention away from the Sniper. And even if you do get on top of them, you're going to have the Oracle that could potentially bail him out.
They do have the Assassinate to cancel the Black Hole if you precast it. We talk about precast a lot.
We'll see. If that actually happens, Ben, I'll give you the props. But I feel like most of the time it just comes.
Precast, dude.
Precast.
Precast.
Top lane, KheZu does seem to be getting some okay farm, but hopefully he doesn't feed away First Blood here. Looks like he will. Silent managed to pick that one up. The Ancient Apparition has been a standard pick for him. He's kind of suffered in the support role, but it does seem like he feels at home when he's playing the Ancient Apparition.
Sniper's getting slightly handled in the mid lane. Doesn't have that corrosive yet. Oh.
Missed Grow Strike there by YapzOr. Everybody talks about the YapzOr Rubik, and I think it's probably the best Rubik that we've seen so far this season, but he's got one hell of a large win rate on Sand King, but maybe I just brought him up a little bit too high. Misses yet another Burrow Strike due to a quick reaction there from the Snowball.
Way to jinx him, dude.
Afterlife's enjoying the jungle time. He doesn't want to go up against the Chaos Knight. Too much kill potential.
I don't think it's that bad. At least he's denying the range because he's popping in and out of lane, so pretty good. Dude, I think most of these CKs pick it for the Immortal. They're like, I want, like, in their mind, they have the Immortal, so they're like, I need to play this hero.
Dude, you know how annoying that is when they spam the W? It's even worse now with the animation that you get from the Arcana, the Immortal.
Maybe that's how IceFrog secretly buffs heroes, by giving them Arcanas and sweet Immortals.
Even though most Arcanas are pay to lose. Usually are a vote.
But they're golden!
You know, like
Austin?
the Caustic Strike? You know, like the Caustic Strike with the new Immortal is like super obvious when you have it on the creep wave. It's like this giant warning sign for the enemy team to stay away. Oh, mid one's gonna be jumped on here by the Snowball. Good block there from the Ice Shard. It's gonna be long enough for G to be able to close that distance, slow him down with the help of the Ancient Apparition. They'll get one kill, possibly a second one here as YapzOr has to Sandstorm dodge a little bit of it, does not have a Burrow Strike to be able to get away, and Sioma Slayer does have some abilities up in just 5 seconds time. Little bit of a narrow path here. YapzOr doesn't have the Burrow Strike just yet. Almost has the mana for it, but it's not going to be fast enough. Great rotation there and great setup by the Vega Squadron supports.
He's going to die. Might as well cancel Clarity, right?
Yeah, might as well. Turn and fight. Be a man, YapzOr.
Too used to making sick plays.
I feel like Ancient Apparition is one of the most awkward rotating heroes, but it does work very well with the Tusk, right? Because it blocks somebody in for so long that the Old Feet have a chance to proc.
And I think he works pretty well with Icy Vortex too, because you limit the field a lot. There's a lot of zoning tools in the game. Midnight Pulse, Shrapnel, Tusk, Icy Vortex. It's going to be a hard field to navigate.
Midwan just continues the pressure though, not dissuaded whatsoever from that gank. Lays the chip damage onto the tower, one of the big advantages of the sniper, right? Ability to take that early tower, but it may be punished once again. Even Afterlife's going to come over, see if he can help out with Malefice, and they're going to be able to get another great block from Sioma. Looking good on the Tusk. 0-4, Team Secret have yet to lay their hands on us.
Yeah, Sniper might be a liability here. I don't think he's going to have the items to put himself in a good position. Now Vega can change their mind. They're like, oh, now we can build greedily. We're not behind. We don't have to care about positioning, right?
And the supports have the easy job on the side of Vega Squadron, right? They've got really easy hero to kill in the Sniper. The side of Secret, they've got nothing they could really do. In fact, KheZu, nice block out. The Cold Feet does latch, but it's underneath the tower, so they're not going to dive or kill. Especially not against level. Earthshaker's got that Aftershock in. Look at him, like YapzOr and Puppey, I see them hanging around in mid, but what are they going to do? They can't even really close the distance. Burrow Strike is too small to really be able to catch the Viper, and even if they did, it's mostly magic damage, in which case Corrosive Skin is going to be able to do a lot of that.
Deep Corrosive Skin has been prioritized on the Viper. 113 on him. MP doesn't look like he's going for the straight armlet rush. Shreds at least in time. I wonder if he's going to go Mass. It seems like he really likes Mass. He does it on
we saw
PL.
The Phantom Lancer. That was weird. Are you a fan of the Mask of Madness, man? I feel like you would be just because it's a very efficient farming item.
Yeah, but you can't cast your spells. That's the
not good for fighting, but good for farming.
I think it's good on Troll, especially.
Sure.
I like it on Lycan a lot. Other ones, I would say like 50-50. I don't like it on Void.
What about Sven?
Sven, oh yeah, Sven's also really good. Forgot about him. But some heroes where you need to cast spells, like PL for example, where you need a doppelganger out, or you can like reveal the real one. When you have illusion heroes, I think it loses a lot of value because then your illusions are just there for damage. They're not there for the surprise factor. They outplay.
Chaos Knight is doing all right in farm. Unfortunately, a lot of it has been denied away by the Enigma, so he's only 7 CS right now, slightly being outdone by the Faceless Void. But a free farming Chaos Knight is a bit of a concern, right? Because he does hit such a powerful peak when he gets that armlet, if he does go for a more traditional build.
Yeah, they don't have good AoE to deal with it. I want to see what Viper builds after the treads. That can determine a lot to the mid game. If he goes for something like Maelstrom, it's good versus CK, but he might also die a lot because he goes for a Glass Cannon build.
Yeah.
And if he goes for...
They already have one Glass Cannon core in Faceless Void, who's easily countered by Chaos.
Yeah, they might need more armor. I wonder if he's going to go Vlad's early on Faceless Void too. I think Void's build is pretty difficult this too, because you also want a lot of AoE to deal with the CK illusions, but you also need to survive so you don't die in the multiple stuns that Secret have.
Yeah, I feel like he has to get a Blink Dagger sometime in his build because it's just too dangerous to go into Earthshaker, Chaos Knight, and Sand King without having that extra bit of mobility. I feel like he can't really be on the front.
Yeah, maybe that's what, like, I think one can go tanky and, like, Viper can go tanky and then Faces Void can come in, or maybe Faces Void can build tankier and then Viper can go for Maelstrom. I don't know if they actually, like, coordinate that out.
What's a tanky Void?
Vanguard occasion, don't like it so much here.
Saw the old Linken's build on the...
Yeah, Linken's is pretty good. Manta Vlad's, like the of HP/armor items, I think. Yeah. Taking 8 strength at level 2.
I'd be a fan of Linken's if there wasn't an Earth. You know, because Linken's really good versus Sand King. It's actually pretty good versus Chaos Knight as well. But
the snowball save.
Well, Syoma does have a pretty hefty workload. KheZu is going to be gone on here in the side jungle, but this does leave an opportunity for Secret to get some vengeance. They managed to get that 1 kill, but a 1-second stun really isn't enough to be able to go on to Aloha Dance here. So they're going to back up, turn themselves instead onto Syoma's Slayer. Do manage to pick up that 1 kill. Faceless Void. Time does manage to get a time walk deeper into the jungle. Eats his way through a tree, goes for the TP out, and barely. And we're back. Hello.
Hello.
That was just our jovial. Been great hanging out with them.
Great joke. Supposed to play it off like a joke. Oh, never mind. Okay, joke's over.
I thought you were calling them depressing people or something, Ben.
Oh no.
Puppey is dead. That's a depressing thought.
Joke.
Faces Void gets the Chronos here. They're going to be able to get the extra kill onto the sniper. That's worth a whole lot more than just plain old Oracle. MP in the meantime has rotated it up to the top lane after that pressure with the Faces Void, where they barely managed to miss that kill. He's going to try and take that rotation, make the most of a failure, and see if he can take that safe lane tower away from Big.
We call it opportunities for the supports instead of failures.
Well, there's no one farming bottom right now for Secret, so I'm not sure what the supports are really making most out of this opportunity. They're still sitting around this sniper knowing that he's been so heavily pressured by Vega Squadron. They gotta try and put a stop to that.
Wow. They're actually going for builds that are kind of countered by AA. We see Mask of Madness coming up on Sniper, and we see Armlet coming out with Chaos Knight. AA, very good versus both of these items.
Radiant's bottom tower.
He had a bit of a scuffle there. Silent being gone on by YapzOr.
MP.
Trouble here. He's gonna pop the ultimate, does get a little bit lucky, gets an extra illusion. That's gonna help try and burst down the hero, but a black hole comes in just in time to be able to put a stop to that one. Afterlife is here to save his allies. No need to go into the grave there. 1-8, Vega Squadron continue quite the dominant lead here. Wasting kills, and it looks like the network is still favoring them pretty heavily as well. Midwan gonna be caught here by G. Puppey comes in, tries to save him, tries to disarm the Viper, not gonna save him. They do manage to stop his TP out, but it's still a Viper at the end of the day, a hero that is gonna be tough for these supports to actually fight by themselves. The Earthshaker is coming across from the mid lane, but he's just not gonna be there fast enough. KheZu, maybe the block off, they do have TP coming in. Chaos Knight is here. Now we've got some physical damage. Maybe they can actually bring down the Viper. 2-second stun only, but they do have the disarm there as well. Snowball safe, brought onto KheZu, but he does manage to get the Shrine up, turns around, gets the stun to finish things off. There goes the Earthshaker as well to be able to lock down the Tusk. They're going to be able to catch Silent as well. Vega Squadron have completely overextended themselves, feeding away what was supposed to be just one core into a core and the other 2 supports as well. And Secret well positioned to try and get some damage onto that mid tower.
Oof! Oh, I was watching another team on Zyre, but that's the Vega we know. No,
Vega Squadron like to be able to run in.
No, they get their lead and they're like, oh, they're very comfortable with the lead. They're like, oh, let's get more out of it. Let's control their jungle. And then something terrible happens. That was a nice attempt for the shard block, though. He tried to block the CK off of the Shrine, so that was pretty smart. I think if he had successfully gotten that block, or for any other hero...
Oh, look at this. Epicenter being lined up here. What a beautiful play from YapzOr. Let's see if it actually pays out, though. Silent, not quite dead from it. And they are going to be able to get the cold feet. Nope, doesn't actually lock into MP, but they do manage to stun him up. Now they have the Chronosphere, and it looks like what was supposed to be kind of a bait-in ends up being secret for the one baited into Vega Squadron. They managed to pick up 2 kills off of that. They lost their mid-tower, though, and that's still going to bite them. Still going to feel the pain. So they're going to try and even it up here by pushing.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Enigma's had a game.
Is he bringing in the hand minus now off the courier?
That's correct.
13-minute minus, not too bad.
Dire's top tower
Faster he gets to that level 15, that's when you really start amping up their gold experience.
Sniper,
sorry, cooldown reduction.
Dude,
but Midwan's having a hard-ass game, and now it's KheZu. Oh, KheZu actually got hit by the neutrals. Well, lucky duck. Vega Squadron denied that kill. Still up by 2K.
Got it.
Poor Blink Dagger.
They still have all this big team fight that's going to be tough. I feel like Team Secret have a very mid-game focused lineup, but at the end of the day, the mid-game can still go terribly for them if Vega Squadron get the right black hole or the right Chronos.
And it could even go worse for them if they don't get their Blink Daggers. KheZu, yeah, he died in neutrals, but still on his way to Blink Dagger. His thinking is about a fourth of the way through. So that's what, maybe like 5-6 minutes left that they need.
Beat. Quite proc there, but MP feeling facing that one. Not getting very lucky on these stuns. I feel like the longer stuns would be better for you now.
He has level 1 stun.
Yeah, that would explain why. I guess 2 seconds is lucky, huh, man? Is that, do you feel like that's the better build right now? Where you max out Reality Rift for the Mightiest Armor, and then you get the potential crit. Just delivers a ton of damage.
Debatable. I think it's better for your mana pool, because not many of the Chaos Knights get that much mana regen. It's usually like Strength Treads and an Armlet, and they usually consume their mango very early on. So if you're limited by mana, I think the Reality Rift is way better for damage per mana.
It's also better for when you actually pop your ultimate, right? Because you're talking about a heavy amount of physical damage, Reality Rift. Critical becomes...
You can look at it the other way, though. If they're locked down for longer, you can do more damage. I think both builds are pretty good, depending on your mana. Like, if you have a CM, I would say stun is a little bit better.
Smoke up here from Vega Squadron. Like, Team Secret have a whole lot of vision out right now. It's mostly defensive. Man, if Midwan dies again. Just picked up level 9, has his Mask of Madness, but he's still such an easy kill. Vega Squadron. Playing pretty aggressively here.
Scan right on top of them.
Nice read. YapzOr's in a position to be able to break a smoke, and they're on top of the freeway. And he's actually going to pop his ultimate inside the jungle. It will manage to get a quick kill on Ancient Apparition. Now, YapzOr with the Epicenter is going to be able to help get an additional kill onto the Enigma. Disaster strikes as Vega Squadron once again try and go past that tier 1 mid tower. It seems cursed. Vega Squadron getting fight after fight when they push themselves past that river.
That was so obvious. I think they also could have just sieged with the Viper in front. I don't really see anything stopping them, but now we may see another death.
Echo Slam, there's the chain stun. Finish off. Aloha. And that's your, I think that's your highest net worth hero. 100, so another big kill for Team Secret. Very rapidly getting themselves back into Blink Dagger territory. KheZu's now, and YapzOr.
Yeah, that last couple minutes were pretty terrible for them. Ideally, they just get the mid T1 tower, and then they keep farming and don't give any kills to the hero that need Blink Daggers. But instead, the opposite happens. Now they're in a pretty terrible position because Basis Void went for this build. Also, he was in Agi Tread farming neutral.
So you think Vega Squadron, like they're just playing this, say, almost too fancy, too kill focused? They could have just, with the lead that they had, kind of run at that mid tower with the Viper, and if they go on Viper, then so be it.
I don't think they, like, look how hard it was for them to kill the Viper. It was like a 3-on-1, 4-on-1 situation, like in really deep into Radiant territory. So if this whole team deck was very, very difficult.
Oh, Black Hole, but the Ice Blast is going to miss, but the percentage-based damage of Midnight Pulse looks like it is going to be enough to, ooh, MP! Armlet toggling, even a Reality Rift to get that extra bit of jump away. If the Ancient Apparition to hit the Ice Blast, YapzOr meanwhile does manage to get a kill on Sioma Slayer near that mid-tier tower. Bit of a bungle there from Vega Squadron. Is this team secret? Can they take advantage of that, knowing that Black Hole's down, or do they continue to play the defensive game and keep farming for mid one?
I think get mid one. Actually, he's really high in net worth now. He's almost tied for the top four, are all pretty close.
Comeback, nice.
Yeah, I think they could have also taken advantage of the, like right after Sand King had used Shrine on bottom, they could have fought around that area a little bit more instead of trying to sweep to the north side where it's there's a much harder choke to fight into. Like Sand King, Shaker, Sniper, these heroes are really good into fighting in a really tight choke point. Whereas, gee, if you just right clicks the mid tower just like this, it's pretty easy. Like they could have just done this 3-4 minutes ago.
Puppey did TP down to bottom lane. MP mid, but this could be just to ensure a successful deny. Does happen for mid one. Puppey TP bottom. I think he wanted to make sure that YapzOr was able to farm bottom lane successfully. If he was Chronosphered, be able to have a
invisibility.
This game looked quite good for Vega Squadron. First 12 minutes, but Sour. You have the initiation plus. Follow-up, mid-one is definitely dead, thanks to a successful Ice Blast landing.
Oh, that's good.
But what are they going to be able to do from this? They've already taken the mid-tower. In fact, they lost it to a deny from mid.
All the team ones are finally down, though. For both sides, that is. See if there's going to be any farming items coming out. Looks like Viper's still going for a Hurricane Pike, so still wants to team fight. And Faces Void also going for a Mantis Owl, so more team fight on both sides, I would say. Alternatively, they could wait a bit longer for Enigma to hit his stride, which, as you mentioned, is like level 15 plus. But now looks like Sand King and the rest of Seeker are going to have the edge in the next 5 or 6 minutes because of these two Blink Daggers really paying off for them.
Ancient Apparition is kind of deceptively tanky with it. I don't know what it is. It just every single time he lays down the Ice Vortex. That time around, they committed the full episode. What's the difference, by the way, between the Faceless Void when you go Diffusal Blade first and when you go...
Manta's way better when you get, like, if you have some sort of save, but I don't know. They don't actually have, like, a great save for him. Like, if you get Echo, you're just dead. If you get Fissured, you're also likely dead. If you get Burrow Struck, Epicenter, you're also dead. So it does give you HP. I do like that part.
Can you disjoint the Chaos Bolt?
You can, but usually you're not going to lead it on with a Chaos Bolt. Sure. It's going to follow up after a very reliable stun. So I think the main difference is you get that big HP from the Ultimate Orb, and that combined with Strength Treads and the Strength Talent level 10 puts you into that territory where you will be able to time walk off and survive that burst, which I think is incredibly important. I think there's been so many team fights decided by Faceless Void not having 200 HP or having that 200.
So from the Hurricane Pike, do you think our Viper does start building more damage? It's like, what is that?
That's that he went the other game too. I think he went Lance into us. Oh, it was something very similar. I think the Lance is necessary when you have a Void on your team, and when you're versus Sniper, and when you're the main building hitter. There's a lot of reasons why he definitely needs to Pike this game.
Middle tower is under attack.
I'm curious to see after the SNY what he goes.
Ancient Apparition throws an Ice Blast to the Roshan pit. Scouts out Secret. We're heading in that direction with the bottom lane being pushed in. I think they're maybe thinking to themselves, okay, if they're going to push that bottom tier 2, let's happily trade it. Let's get that extra life.
You might see like a play coming out from Secret where they try and like bait out the big ultimates. They might lose a fight like 3-1, let's say, and then they go straight into the Roche pit. It's pretty common when you're playing against Faceless Void. So like it might not even like be planning like, okay, let's take a fight, and then it goes slightly poorly, but Vega blow their ultimates. So that's something that Vega have to be very cautious about, not using many ultimates, or just being better about playing around the Roshan pit so that Secret can't take it down very, very quickly.
So try not to overkill.
Yeah,
you don't need
overkill is, but at the same time, you're versus Oracle, so you might need as many ultimates as you can. So they're in a pretty tough spot right now as to how to proceed in the next couple of team fights. They do have that good ward though, but it doesn't see anything yet.
Smoke for smoke is already popping. Sioma Slayer leading the way while YapzOr does manage to get the Burrow Strike in, but Sioma is causing a lot of havoc. Does manage to get a pretty good Ice Blast, but the big ultimates on the side, Aloha Dance is actually going to go for one. Black hole onto just MP, but they do manage to get the Oracle save there. MP, is he going to be able to turn and do anything with this one? His illusions have already been cleared out. Echo Slam laid out. They're going to try and burst down Aloha Dance here with the Faceless Void. Has that Manta, but is unable to be able to get it off. He still is going to be able to get his team the win, though. They managed to pick up 4 members of Team Secret G, leading the damage out there. And, well, there's your team fight, Ben. They did use both their big ultimates, but it cost them a lot.
They also had Arcane Rune on Afterlife. They also had the BKB. That was why Vega smoked in the first place and why Secret lost the fight. The Black Hole, yeah, it only caught the CK, but it also caught all his illusions, and without his illusions, so I think it was still a pretty good Black Hole despite it being false promised off. And yeah, with Arcane Rune, I think the window for Sniper and the rest of Secret to take advantage of it and take Roche is just way too slim. I don't even know if they noticed. They probably noticed close to the tail end of the fight. He's like kind of pinkish already. Dude, some of those runes are impossible to see. Like Wisp with DD,
yeah, they are
one of the notoriously difficult ones.
Especially with some of the Arcanas that make them look like they already had some sort of aura on them.
Those are pay to win.
The Vega Squadron, I feel like, can they actually chill out? And
yeah. Dude,
there's no rush for them, right? Because they have such big team fight, game-winning ultimates.
Enigma later in the game is GG with the right items, and he's on his way there. Just needs Blink, Octarine, Refresher, which sounds like a lot, but for Enigma with this early of a Midas and the cooldown reduction already, it's only going to be like 21 minutes, which what is CK going to do against? You get Heart, you still get Midnight Pulse down.
It's going to be a pain in the ass to push into high ground against Sniper and Earthshaker, but that's maybe where caution preached, right? Where we just say to Vega Squadron, hey, just chill out, control the map, keep farming until you have such an over advantage.
If they're too slow at moving out of their base, then you just blow a big ultimate on one person. You just like Black Hole one person, Chronosphere one person with AA ulti. So like I think they even have like the turtle on high ground under control, as long as they don't suicide into the teeth.
So I've already suicided into
very like
tier 1s. Top 3 net worth, all the big cores of Vega Squadron hitting 10K, while Chaos Knight, highest core of Team Secret, struggles to break that ground.
And you see what I meant about the Faceless Void. Like if he had like 5 more strength right there, he would have lived the last fight. Or if he like didn't die the one time where he had Agi Treads instead of Strength Treads, he might have been able to live through that situation. So like Faceless Voids are always on that point of like, how much HP do I actually need before I... Still looks like he might need more HP, or just watch your position more.
Is level 20.
I think it's GPM versus...
Yeah, I was about to say, I remember there...
Yeah, it's pretty late though. Yeah, usually by that time you have BKB, but I still see the health the majority of the time.
He's going to Fusion Blade, maybe he gets health.
Perhaps. The Fusion Blade is incredibly good versus...
Now have a Sniper Shadow Blade. Not sure how much he's going to be able to do, but perhaps paired up with the Earthshaker or King.
Silver Edge is really good versus Viper. I think we saw it in the other game too.
Breaking the corrosive skin. A lot of that damage.
Oh, yeah, and you mentioned the Faceless Void going Manta versus. It's also really good versus Disarm on Oracle.
Oh, that's a good case. Enter being called up here. YapzOr goes for the Roche Strike, doesn't actually manage to land it onto Aloha Dance, and the turnaround here. Afterlife with the Black Hole, locking down 2. They do manage to get the Oracle ultimate out onto KheZu. Enough time for him to be able to get the Echo Slam, but it's not enough to lock down Aloha Dance, so KheZu's just going to throw down that ultimate and then die immediately. A 1-for-2 exchange, but now the Chronosphere locking in MP's Chaos Knight with the illusion. Afterlife's going to be able to come in, add some additional disable. They're trying to save the Chaos Knight, lessening some of that magic damage thanks to the Oracle, but it looks like Viper's just going to be able to stick on top of it. And if they're not careful, they could lose more here. Puppey, the Oracle, is also going to be caught. The only escapee, whatever you want to call it, Sniper, mid-1 Sniper is able to get away. Vega Squadron continue to remain dominant in these.
That was a great chrono. You catch both of their Blink initiators with the Chronosphere. One gets False Promise, but Earthshaker still can't do anything after that.
Oh, you mean the Black Hole?
Oh yeah, the Black Hole. Yeah, the Black Hole was great. Yeah, those are the 2 ideal heroes to catch.
Excellent turn by Afterlife, and they brought this up on the panel, right? The fact that once you have BKB on the Enigma, there are no disables to be able to stop this.
Precast Assassinate.
Precast Assassinate. Is that what you want Mid-Wan to be doing? He's got a Mask of Madness too. It's a little antithetical though.
Well, ideally you can position, but as we've seen today, is that's just simply impossible in the majority of situations. You have to try and go for the difficult, yet only play, like blinking and hookshotting on a clockwork.
Yeah.
It's got to go for it.
Afterlife has to play out of vision most of the time. He knows what a big swing hit. Even harder for Sniper to get that vision.
You could just get a Lincoln's too. So.
That is also. He really feels like it, though. I highly doubt Assassinate is going to be effective here. KheZu brings the lockdown, does get the additional hero. Sioma Slayer tries to make a snowball save, doesn't get it, and he will die to the team's secret 5-man gank.
This
Just
is
open themselves up. Roshan, maybe?
Yeah, this is the timing that they really need to be careful about. You use your ultimates, and then Secret are trying to go for a big play in a Roshan. And right now, like even if they did have buyback, they still wouldn't be able to make it in time with their ultimate. Black Hole's still down for 17 seconds, and they get a +1 with Silence. So
trying to come in, get some vision with the Ice Vortex and the Ice Blast. Yeah, you're right. A Vega Squadron, they can hold Roshan as 5 without their ultimates, right? They've got Midnight Pulse, they've got Ice Vortex, you know, Ice Shard spam, that sort of thing. But they just can't afford to actually be picked off and not have those big fights.
Yep. That's generally the cycle, though. You win a big team fight, you go back to performance when your ultimates are up. But they just need to be careful not to be lulled into that same sense just because of the way that these teams play around these big ultimates. Now, they've given up a pretty big advantage, and they have to give it to the CK because the CK is the one that is far more likely to die in the team.
So what did Vega Squadron do wrong? It's like, what should it they've been doing? Play more conservatively, play high ground areas?
Like, if all 5 of them are missing off the map, you just sit there on your shrine and have sentry wards and place observer wards, and you can place either the Icy Vortex, or you can place the Tusk Sigil around the pit and float it around the shrine, just so you know that when they're coming up the hill, or if they're trying to sneak roach, you can find one or the other pretty easily. Or you can even scout with Eidolons. All of them are okay, but like you'll see, I think the Chinese teams are way better about doing that, is realizing the smoke ganks coming. Like, because Secret doesn't have that many opportunities. They were like 10k goal behind. That's pretty much the only play they can do, is either wait for Vega to botch their ultimate, unreliable, or wait for them to use their ultimates when and then go for the gold when they don't have their ult up. And now they're just
the jump in ankle slam, they managed to lock down a lot of dance again to get the Faces Void, but the Black Hole save. They're going to be able to save him, but can they output the damage? They're trying to finish off NP, but he got the Oracle save. I have no idea what kind of HP is going to end up after the end of this. G, he's perfectly fine. So there goes that Aegis. Round 2 of the Chaos Knight. Without an ultimate and kind of in a bad situation, directly locked under by the Chronosphere. There's not much these heroes can do to stop it unless YapzOr comes in, tries to help out again. The Faceless Void is able to live, gets the time walk away, but he's time walk forward into the Sniper, which means he will still die. Now G stands tall, but Mid-Wan in the back lines has the distance and is able to get a lot of pokes there onto the Viper, forcing Vega Squadron to retreat. YapzOr is going to pursue. Slowing down G, he's at half HP. If they can actually just get a shrapnel on top of him, maybe they can pursue, but he did have that Hurricane Pike push. Gets the extra distance away. So not a terrible fight for Team Secret, but not a game changer.
Yeah, it was a push. No idea why Faces Void tried to go in. Maybe he thought he could like get close to the Sniper and prevent a lot of his damage output, but the Dragonlance, he is way far away from the fight.
What's he going for that ultimate? Oh, he's going to the Silver Red. Yeah.
And they need to pick off the Oracle in the fights too. The Oracle's going to be a pretty big problem. Yeah. Now he can kind of save 2 people, one with False Promise and one with his Lumber Cape heal combo.
I love this talent choice by Sioma. The other choice is the 90 GPM, but instead he goes for the 150 snowball damage, which is a lot. It's also enough to instantly clear Creep Wave, Ice Shard. So it does kind of serve as a farming mechanism.
I'm a core player. I would have gone for a GPM.
I know you would.
Especially
you
with
would have
this
thought,
board.
what if this game goes 40 more minutes?
I mean, what's his GPM right now? It has to be pretty low. 195. So you're like increasing your gold income by 50%.
Yes,
that
but again,
talent.
Snowball is still a farming mechanism
now.
So,
but speaking of mechanism, he doesn't have his
not working on it though. That's where he needs that GPM.
Sacrifice
One way or
one
another.
mechanism for the other. BKB next on Viper.
Are you at all concerned that, like, this is Viper's peak, right? He's big, he's bad, his magic damage and full damage are still very relevant, but he does kind of dropping off from here,
Did you
right?
see Knoxville's stats about how many games of Viper he played?
That's true. Is one of his great heroes, BKB. He's going to be popped here by G. Turn around Black Hole. Just on the MP, but it's still the primary damage dealers are just going to get locked down. This Chaos Knight feels completely irrelevant in many of these team fights, but KheZu is not. He gets the lockdown, almost catches a low hot dance, but again, they just do not have enough burst damage to be able to bring him down. Now Midwan's going to be caught on. Looks like G managed to close that distance with the help of the Ice Shards. They lock Midwan in. Malphite stops the TP. YapzOr is trying to make his getaway, but Sandstorm is not going to protect him. So 3 down. Secret may just have a high ground push coming their way.
Okay, that's just when you know your team fight is inferior. When you just get like one-man ultied with Enigma. Like, it's a CK. CK can't hide in the fight. You can't just sit in the back and do nothing. That's Sniper's job. So as soon as he shows he just gets Black Hole, and if you only Black Hole's one person, and you don't have anything else to follow up, you're either too far behind or your team fight's just way weak. And it's a little bit of both right now. That their Chrono wasn't even used.
YapzOr, a little bit of feint. Does manage to get the Burrow Strike now onto Basis Void, but he just seems to be too tanky as long as the Chaos Knight is in the fight, which most of the time Vega Squadron prioritizing him. The Sniper just kind of like poke, 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 but he just time blocks off the damage eventually.
But look at the way G approached that fight. He just walks in.
Yeah.
With BKB. He's like, I need to get vision. I need to find out where these strength heroes are so that my teammates can make a play. That's why I like G as a mid player. He knows how to win the team fights. He knows he's not there to do damage. That's secondary priority. First is to get vision for his team and get spells cast on him. Like, as soon as they cast any spells, they're going to get corrosive and then they can't blink, and then the team fight is way easier for Vega. So that's, like, Viper is, most of the time people think of agility heroes as damage dealers, but that's not the case for Viper. He's completely different in that regard.
It's definitely
Top tier Viper player. If you want to see sick plays with Viper, watch G.
It is one of his known heroes, right? I think when I think of G mid, I think of Queen of Pain first, and then I think Viper and Puppey.
I think that's like any core player's like nightmares to be known for your Viper. That's
Vado would just be fun. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Viper. But you don't want to be known for your Viper.
It's just
You want to be known for having good Viper, but you don't want to be like the hero that you're good with.
That's true. It is not like the highest playmaking potential hero.
Amazing Viper. The way
Really good at right-clicking.
corrosive.
He's good at running into the enemy.
YapzOr wrapping around behind with an invisibility rune.
About to wear out, and Secret or not. YapzOr does end up getting
Enigma.
get to the back line.
That.
This whole entire time, like, Sniper has been kind of like sit in the back line, and he's been allowed to, but his damage just hasn't been potent enough to be a threat. And now, once his damage is beginning to become a real thing, but now he's gonna have to feel so much more pressure thanks to the spacing point. I feel like Aloha Dance is gonna start using that blink to get to the back line, get to the Sniper Black Hole for the Chaos Knight, Chronosphere for the Sniper, wham bam, you're done.
Yeah, I actually don't like favor his build too much too. I think he actually just needs a BKB on the Chaos Knight. I think HP is generally pretty good, but versus Midnight Pulse, it's not that great. And maybe even like a hood for him might not be the worst thing in the world, just because like how much he needs to take this game. His job is also to take damage this game, not to do damage with Phantasm, because we've seen how easily the Phantasm will just die because he gets Midnight Pulse ultied every time.
I think ultimately it's like the item choice can only do so much for you, right?
I mean, that's what you have to do though. That's the only thing.
I'm just saying, like, I think they really need to focus on getting the initiation onto Vega Squadron.
They can't though. The Viper's in front. Like, look at him. He's in there. He's deep.
Gotta get a wraparound, Ben.
Yeah.
Get a wraparound. Try to kill KheZu, unsuccessful. Poor staff, TP. It's life. We're gonna have a butterfly soon on the Viper. I think Sniper is built.
So they do need to stick together though, Vega. I think they can still easily get picked off. Like any of their heroes can die due to chain stun. Maybe not G, but they can just play safe, and if they get the next Rosh, it should be okay for them to at least start sieging the Breeze, or sorry, the Rags. Brian's already down.
Seems like they're already making slight adjustments in the core's positioning. They're kind of farming jungle areas. One's pushing out waves. So if a smoking's coming, it's most likely going to be hitting those first, which they're...
They just had the sigil inside the pit, and now they're huddled around, like, close to the front. This is what they should have done the last time the Roshan was taken down. Granted, they didn't have their ults, but...
YapzOr makes the jump in. Ice Blast. Doesn't look like it's going to be able to hit much there. The Tusk is going to be the... Whoa, what a beautiful Chronosphere. They're going to be able to lock down so many heroes. They take out the Oracle first, follow this up with the Black Hole. All three of those heroes dead. Chaos Knight was not locked down this time around, but nothing he could do anyway.
Great Chronosphere. Yeah, from Aloha. They don't really need Rosh. That's the thing about Secret. Like, they know they have to play around the Rosh pit right now, and if they give up Rosh, they're just gonna fall way too far behind. Like, Faceless Void can, like, they've been pretty close to killing a Faceless Void, which may win this first team fight, but he has ages since. KheZu jumps in, goes for Aloha Dance, but immediate turnaround. He ends up going down. Aloha Dance takes most of the damage off of the time walk, and P, he's kind of stuck. He managed to kill the Tusk, but he can't follow up on any additional heroes. All that sticky ice vortex there from the Ancient Apparition really looked ability. Unable to pursue. Vega Squadron back away. Flame has been used to support. Their ults are down,
played
most
safe.
importantly.
Yeah. Played safe, played for Roche.
Yep. Take it easy. Nope. Go. Well, CK has Hardy. This is kind of like their... I mean, those illusions are still... I think he had it before that fight, too. Midnight Pulse. Good skill.
It was last pick Chaos Knight, right? No, last pick Snipe. Does not feel like it.
Sometimes
they picked it like third, I think, into the Faceless Void, and that, like, initially thought, like, oh, that's great. Great versus bad for it.
I'm trying to think of other items he could have gone that would have been better, too. BKB also still gets owned by Midnight Pulse. You can't really get lifesteal because of AA. I don't know. So maybe a solar on one of the supports, but I don't know, kind of poor, so help all much. But it helps a lot if you're Viper. You don't need to build BKB or Bloodthorn at all.
It's not really a mid hero that would have gifted you Black Hole Hand either. Because I feel like that's where a large part of the problem comes in, is that no matter what the Chaos Knight does, it's going to be Black Hole, and there's nothing you can stop that.
We mentioned Silencer, I think, was one of the few ones.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But they haven't really run it too much, and it's also a terrible matchup versus Viper. Good luck,
not fun. And it's another hero that's easily ganked. Vega Squadron already showed their prowess, their 4 position. Husk.
I would say Afterlife has been playing very well in Enigma, though. He's always casted his Midnight Pulse before his Black Hole. He always pops his BKB before he blinks in, so there's no random chance of a stun. And he always gets an important core in his Black Hole. Or
Black Hole, or Ice Blast. Oracle save is there, but I think it's still enough damage.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
Okay, well, just go with it, but not that big of a deal for him. He's at that point where he's like so farmed, like one Black Hole is not that big a deal. Or maybe he's going for the juice with a refresher.
If he was a little...
You can sell your Midas. Would you sell your Midas for that?
If I was losing and the enemy team was pushing my high ground, then yes. Here, I'm pretty sure Vega Squadron would have the luxury of time.
Dire's
Surprise!
is under attack.
As you can see, Secret are still plenty scared, despite knowing Black Hole is down.
But they don't know how close he is. They know he's building it.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Builds. X as well.
Illusion.
I wonder if we're going to hyper. He's really hard to deal with.
He is hard to deal with, but
I think G just plays it way better than other teams and other players. So I'm not sure.
I mean, I think he also got in some ways a very free lane because he had supports that could actually gank for him.
Yeah.
Zanking into Viper is very difficult. You're like, how do you figure out what to do, you know? They're like, I've got a 300 range stun. It doesn't really catch him.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Illusion.
Is that Chrysalis net?
I'll take
Oh, by cheese, so Viper.
Rapier time for Sniper. I'd be down for Rapier. I think it's about Rapier
Maybe
territory.
after the MKB, but you know, with Rapier,
You already have
got that
headshot though.
butterfly.
You have headshot.
I guess.
Headshot. But then
I don't know how that math works.
35. Yeah. I think it's also really good at killing Enigma. Yeah, I think you can actually kill the Enigma. Black hole.
Bop, bop, bop.
Maybe.
All right, Ben, I'm down.
Okay.
Fine Rapier. I'm always in for those games. You know where you're losing. You know you're losing and you're gonna lose. I'm down to like just flip the table. You know. Poor Silent. Still though, that is a Chaos Knight ultimate down. Phantasm, well, apparently so is BKB even used. They think they found the real one. They're sure they found the real one. It's somewhere in here. I swear to God it is. But they've been deceived.
Yeah, they probably didn't know he had heart, so. Pinkier than normal illusions. But it's just Silent's life.
YapzOr trying to create space. Doing those daring solo missions to push out the waves. Survived through the black.
Dire's bottom
So
tower
maybe
is under attack.
in bold. Trevor.
Okay, he bought Demon Edge on Sniper, and he has 3,000 gold. See, after these couple camps.
Yeah, it's just another 800 gold.
He might need to save for buyback, though. They're so far behind.
Dire's bottom tower.
They get on top of you. 20 to 29, 44 minutes in. Vega Squadron holding a 20k gold lead that has gone down quite a bit. MP turns around, throws out the stun. Lincoln's going to block out the stun, does have the reality rip, but there's the black hole to control once again with a follow-up Ice Blast. Oracle is not going to do much to save. He is only prolonging the inevitable death of MP. And it is just Kite City. This poor guy, he just can't kill. Oh, like, Chaos Knight is a hero killer, you know? It's not a farmer. He goes out there and kills things, and every single team fight, he's just locked down and kited around.
Chaos Knight's going for MKB too. Wow.
I mean, Viper, that is going to be the way they play it, right? Viper is the one to siege the high ground, so they have to have the threatening power again.
I suppose, but if like CK just dies like that, he's not going to do any damage. But I don't know. They can rely on Sniper, I think, for damage. He did go for MKB, no Rapier.
Lock it off. Shake it off. Well, KheZu's trying to come in and shake it off, but it doesn't manage to get into Blinking Echo Slam. He was stopped by Night Shard. Now they get the Chrono Spear to come around. They caught Mid-Wan inside of it. It's going to be carried down, and he refuses to buy back on the Chaos Knight, and there is no buyback on the Sniper. So Secret, this looks like this could be the end of them. I'm not sure how they could possibly do anything. I mean, the big ultimates are down for Vega Squadron, but it's still going to be a 4 versus 5 in their next team fight.
Waka Flocka. That's what I have to say about this game.
That's very apt description, Ben. Eat.
That's for you to interpret. That's the beauty of the words.
Throw it.
You want it to be.
Some Waka Flocka flame up here. Vega Squadron taking this game. Nice snowball into gold. Managed to get the Ice Blast over the top. MP gets his ultimate off. Is going to be able to take out one support. Echo Slam blocks down 2, but there's the black hole once again. Afterlife with yet another great performance. Blocks down mid carry. He's going to die eventually. Gets a refresher off. YapzOr trying to finish him off before he can get off the second black hole, and he will be successful in that regard. MP is bought back. Doesn't have his ultimate, but maybe he can output the damage all by himself. No, he's not. He's just going to die. Slowly but surely, he's going to die. And there you have it. Vega Squadron have wiped through Team Secret and taken game number 1 in this elimination match.
Afterlife played, I think, the best game of the tournament that I've seen from him. That was really good Enigma performance. Also, G, I think, was a pretty standout Viper. as far as Vipers can go.
Yeah.
Their range is probably like, you know, from a 4 to a 6 in terms of
You could never be a 10 out of 10 Viper play.
But if we widen the scale, he would be a 10 out.
He would. I think Afterlife, we were talking earlier, he's probably like the least known player of the entire tournament.
MVP.
Interaction Slack said, well, this is your chance to make a name for yourself. And I think Afterlife is